What's happening, YouTube? Today we are talking about Bryce Love out of Stanford University. Bryce Love is listed at about 5'10", weighing in at about 180 pounds. His hometown is Wake Forest, North Carolina. I want to talk to you today on why I feel like Bryce Love, despite everything he has been through this last season, and why he is still considered my favorite sleeper pick and still a perfect complement to Kerryon Johnson. Here you will see that his former running mate was Christian McCaffrey, who is now on the Carolina Panthers. With that being said, this is further evidence that he is the perfect complementary player in Detroit's backfield as Bob Quinn looks to focus on the run game. Here you will see Bryce Love having a better elusive rating and breakaway percentage than his former mate. And please check out Bryce Love's film to further see why I'm so high on him. In this clip, you will see Bryce Love is indeed studying to become a pediatric doctor, and with adding him, that means we will have two doctors on hand in the backfield with Zach Zenner. As Zach Zenner's time will be a year-to-year basis, there could be a new favorite doctor in the backfield, and when healthy, he could be a fan favorite as well. Bryce Love has a lot of amazing traits as he is a home run threat. Here you can see him running into the end zone and nobody around, and if he would have came out in the 2018 draft, he would have been the second running back taken in the first round behind Saquon Barkley. You see Bryce Love stiff-arming a guy who is one of my favorite defensive linemen in college, Mr. Vita Vea, who now plays for our Week 15 opponent, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bryce Love shows power and speed, the ability to pick up yards after contact, and to get skinny when going through run lanes. Pairing him up with Kerryon Johnson will not only help both players long term, but will also be the perfect thunder and lightning. Keeping defensive honest and making them stay aware of the run game will essentially help the offense as a whole. 2017, Bryce Love, Lamar Jackson, and Baker Mayfield were top three candidates for the Heisman Trophy. As we know, Baker Mayfield won the Heisman, but Bryce Love came in second. He had the number 2 ranked in NCAA in rushing yards and rushing for just over 2,100 yards. With 19 touchdowns, he was truly a man amongst boys. He has shown versatility, something that Bob Quinn craves, with playing complementary football as well as being a 3-down back. He has shown the ability to catch in the backfield and score passing touchdowns, although his receiving was in small samples with the offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell. He could use a player like Bryce Love. Watching 2018 season, I had to take it with a grain of salt, as he played through ankle injury as well as blowing his ACL in the last play of the season. For me, that showed toughness. With the group that we have in the backfield behind Kerryon Johnson, I feel if Bob Quinn drafts him and he can sit behind CJ Anderson, Zach Zenner, and Theo Riddick, and he can make a full recovery from his ACL surgery. In this clip, you will see Tiki Barber telling him that he reminds him of himself. He has been compared to many, from Tiki Barber to Duke Johnson Jr. to, even ironically, New England Patriots running back Deion Lewis. In 2017, Bryce Love won the Consensus All-American, the Doak Walker Award, Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year, as well as the Vince Lombardi Award. There are some things that I covered that stood out to me. In 2015 and 2016, he was sharing workload with Christian McCaffrey, and in 26 games he had 140 attempts, rushing for 1,008 yards, 5 touchdowns, and averaged 7.5 yards per carry, and then added 23 catches for 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, and averaged 13.6 yards per catch, meaning he's moving the chains while complementing a backfield, and alone he was a man amongst boys. When healthy, and if he would have stayed healthy in his senior year, I could have seen at least 1,300 yards or more, but he finished with 739 yards on a busted ankle. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. Bryce Love has shown the ability to play in the return game as well, which shows he has more value. Here you can see 9 kick returns for 125 yards on around 14 yards per return. Versatility is key when you're talking about Bryce Love. Here I will show you his NCAA ranking as well as his Pac-12 ranking. Now when you're watching game film, pay attention to these rankings. Bryce Love's strengths: he plays through pain, showing heart and leadership. He is extremely smart with a high football IQ and high character, something that Bob Quinn really craves in his players. His burst and top end speed can turn a 16-yard run into a 60-yard play. He will beat linebackers around the corner in a foot race, and his ability to get skinny and squeeze through tight running lanes, and his ability to catch out the backfield. Yes, it was in small samples, but having that ability is something that can benefit us more next season than this season. Yes, these are all things that stood out to me. Next season, Theo Riddick, Zach Zenner, and CJ Anderson will all be 29 and free agents. So having a plan in place is something that Bob Quinn is looking to always have. Now, with strengths always comes weaknesses. So let's take a look at some of the concerns and weaknesses that Bryce Love has. Tweener size might hinder him in both rushing volume and draft value. Please go and watch film and study, because tweener size for rush volume, okay, I could see that. But give him a tomahawk steak and some carbs and he should be straight. Also, if you watch film, you are not going to see his draft stock fall outside of his current injury that he had surgery on. He would have been the second best running back in last year's draft. Another thing I want to bring to your attention is he could struggle against holding his ground in blitz protection. I haven't really seen any running backs hold ground on blitzes. Their job is to at least let the quarterback move up back into the pocket and into his throws and be able to get the ball off clean. Now, other than that, what I see is it's going to come down to scheme and coaches that will matter most, and having Darrell Bevell is a perfect scenario for him. The way Coach Bevell will be able to use him, I don't see these weaknesses hindering him or his career. But don't take my word for it, as Luke G would say, and research this for yourself. I will say this: go look at what other players that were taken at the running back position later in the draft and what they say about them and how well they did as being now stars, and compare them to what they are saying now about Bryce Love. The doctor you see here, Dr. James Andrews, is a well-respected surgeon that has done numerous athletes, including, I believe, Adrian Peterson, but Bryce Love is still dealing with a little stiffness around his ACL, coming back from his recheck at the combine that was done a few weeks ago. There are still some concerns, but nothing too crazy. I had his draft stock at around the 5th or 6th rounds, and now it's looking like a 6th round pick. And I believe at pick 184, which is our first pick in the 6th round, I still believe that we can still get a steal in the draft. My final thoughts on Bryce Love is, with his versatility of being a lead back and a complementary back, and his home run ability, he could take this year as a redshirt season, getting shut down for the year, getting healthy, learning, and coming back next season at 100% should be at its utmost respect. With CJ Anderson, Theo Riddick, and Zach Zenner, I fully believe they can teach him enough to be a reliable back as a 1A, 1B type of back for offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell. I will say his road to recovery has to be a priority for whoever takes him if they are going to get the most out of Bryce Love. So with that being said, I hope this Saturday Bryce Love will be named as a Detroit Lion and come into Detroit after Saturday. For watching, please like, subscribe, comment, and share, and always go Lions, #OnePride.